who support you. And even if you're living by yourself, you can even isolate yourself from yourself. I know it sounds crazy, but I've been there. And that's how I know that relapse is possible. But I get out of that isolation. I go and even if I have to go to the grocery store or somewhere where people are, where I have to be kind of like accountable for my actions. McDonald's, restaurants. I go visit my mom. I know she's going to, keep me calm, and I'm not going to do anything to upset her. And so I go and I be around people, that I love. I never want to get into a room and close the door, because that's what I used to do when it was time to get that drink on, So you want to kind of not be isolated, but not return to the people, places, and things that got you in the situation in the first place. And so I know it's a slippery slope. It's tricky. It's really, it's a give or take, but you have to do these things. And these red flags of prevention of relapse are right there in your face. And if you have it, you can log into any website about addictions, and they'll have all these things printed for you. You can do this. If you let God do it and you don't do it, you can do it. Sounds crazy, but think about what I'm saying. Don't take it into your own hands. Give it to God, and He will lead and guide you, and then you will be able to not relapse. The goal is to not relapse. And the 10th thing they have is positive emotional states. Always stay positive. I love the spring colors of green and pink and yellow and orange. And one of the things that I like to do is I'm into this painting on the canvas now. And although I've only did it just a few times, I like it. So I think what I'm going to do, and this gives me some positive energy and puts me in a positive emotional state, is to buy me a whole bunch of those canvases. They got a website that you don't even have to go to the little sip, right? Everything has something to do with alcohol. Not all of them, but I'm just saying you don't even have to leave your house. And I'm going to get me some paint, and I'm going to start painting me some of these pictures that are right online. And I'm going to become a painter. I like that because I like colors. And I can paint whatever I want to paint, as long as the colors are bright and they put me in a positive emotional state and they keep me positive. Positive energy is key. Okay? So one of the other things I wanted to share with you today was addiction and anxiety. I suffer with an anxiety panic attack disorder. And so anxiety is just a feeling, and feelings pass. And so as I was talking to one of my clients, they were telling me about how they can't live without their particular drug. I'm not going to name it because it's not important, but their particular drug. And they have conquered every other addiction but this one addiction. And I allowed the person to talk, and they gave me so much good advice and told me all about the Lord, and they know that, they believe in God, and they did this and they did that. But when it came down to this one thing, it was so hard for them to shake it, because the anxiety just overtook them. I can relate to that. I understand that. Anxiety was my biggest problem when it came to making a decision whether I should drink my anxiety away, bury my anxiety in that bottle of alcohol, my lover. And so I told my client, I said, well, the first thing you have to learn to do when that anxiety comes on to you and is pushing you towards relapsing or the addiction, because at this point you're still in addiction. You're still in addiction. You have to relax and breathe. Now, one of the things that I do as far as relaxation and breathing techniques is yoga. Haven't done it in a long time, but when I did take some yoga classes, oh my God, it was the greatest thing since Wonder Bread, sliced bread. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I was able to, I may not have been able to get in all of the positions, but I got close enough to them to be able to also do it at home. And it was just even the mere fact of me trying to remember the different positions and how I could breathe and relax was good enough for my anxiety to slowly decrease. I wasn't as high strung as I was. I didn't think about the love of alcohol. I was able to actually go places in my mind, that I hadn't been in a very, very long time. Clear places. I could see now. Remember I told you about my seeing through my spiritual eyes. And I was able to connect with God. Everybody has a reason why they do yoga, but mine is definitely to be free and have positive energy and get closer to God. The second thing I had to do was, or I told them to do, was to find their new normal. I love that word new normal because it puts you in a place where now this is the normal thing I do. I used to, when I was bound by addiction, run out to the nearest liquor store, and that would take away all of my problems. So now I had to find a new normal thing to do when things came at me and those red flags were coming at me and I did not want to relapse. What can I do now? And so I found new things to do. Now, what I do and what you do is totally different. Like I said, I'm going to start painting. That's a new normal for me. But I write. I read books. I look at some of my silly Mayberry movies. Sometimes I look at things on YouTube to make me laugh, genuine laugh. Sometimes the things are a little bit overwhelming, and I've learned to turn away from those things, because what you allow in your ear gate can really get back in your spirit and start messing with things. Just like Satan told God, if you let me have Job, I'll make sure, that he never worships you again. And God said, I'll make sure that he will. Number 3 is you don't be so critical of yourself. This is a good one right here. A lot of times we are our own worst enemy. We find everything wrong with what we're doing. We find everything wrong with our new normal. We find everything wrong with even relaxing and breathing. I can't do that. When I relax like that, when I breathe like that, feel like I'm about to have an asthma attack. I can't be putting myself in them positions, because when I'm bent over like that, feel like all the blood is rushing to the top of my head. These were some of the things that I felt when I first started doing yoga. Oh my God, I just scraped up all of the bottom of my feet. My toenail came up. Just a whole bunch of stuff. I just couldn't relax. I couldn't, do it. And, they came over and they were trying to align my body in the right posture, and I ain't want nobody putting their hands on me. Oh, just a mess. You can't, I can't. You got to get rid of those words. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. The Bible even says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so everything really just goes back to getting to God. It's one of the things I do as a recovery coach. I get you to the person that you need to fix your life. I get you to God. I introduce you to him. I Hopefully you will be able to form that personal relationship with him. But even if you're not connecting with the God that I know, I still am able to lead and guide you and help you to focus on not relapsing. The fourth thing was to talk about it. Don't be so closed in, and share your testimony with other people and share your feelings even more. What you're going through at that moment. Right before relapse, you need to let it out. You know what? I think I need to take a walk. Anybody in here want to go for a walk? Sometimes I have to remove myself out of a room because of the memories of the things that happen in that room. Okay, I got to go. But that goes back to, that's why I don't go to a lot of places I used to go to. Because sometimes the pressure is just too much in that room. Talk about it. Talk about how you're feeling. Even if you have to look in the mirror. Because sometimes I may be the only one in the house and I have to look in the mirror, look at Deborah in the face, and let Deborah know how I'm feeling. You know what? It's getting tight right now. But I know that God got me. Then I start breathing. And I talk about it some more. Today I felt like, because the sun didn't come out, it was just a horrible day for me. I like it better when the sun is out. Then I start breathing. And I talk it out some more. I wish I was able to carry out some of these big dreams that I have. Then I look at me again and I say, but you are able to do it. You just got to prepare yourself, plan, put it down, write the vision and make it plain. And so talking about it helps. When that red flag is up and you're just about to relapse, talk your way out of it. You can do it. You can do it. And the fifth thing is, don't give fear the power. Don't give fear the power. One of my favorite things to say is, you've been there and you've done that. You've already been in the situation. Don't allow Satan to tempt you like he tempted Job. Don't even let him get in your head. When you let fear get in your head, you have given fear power. Now remember, you're powerless already over the addiction. You don't have to be powerless over your relapse, because God gives you the power to withstand all of the struggles that you've gone through. You've been there, you've done that already. You already know the outcome of the situation if you allow God to lead and guide you. And so my clients, I tell you all the time, you already know the answer. You've been there. This is your struggle. You live it on a daily basis. You know what happens when you turn to God and let him have it. And you also know what happens when you don't. And so, back to my slogan, don't do it. Let God do it. Give all your fears, your worries, your cares, every disappointment, everything that you're battling against, give it to God, and you will be victorious. It's just that simple. Give it to God. Let him do it. Nike is making thousands and thousands and millions and trillions of dollars off a little check mark and a slogan that says, just do it. And I'm letting you know that if you let God do it, you may not have thousands and trillions and billions of dollars, but you will have victory and you won't relapse. God bless you and have a marvelous day.
You've been listening to Ask Pastor Deb on WOSDRadio.com, the show about recovery and spiritual awareness. We thank you for listening, and please join us again next Sunday.